participants, we can start now. Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome back to Muscat Securities Market virtual platform discussion sessions. As usual, Tabinda Bukhari with you. I'm here to welcome on behalf of MSM, the team of National Life and General Insurance, especially Mr. Venkachalam Srinivasan, the CEO of NLG, along with his management team, his general manager, Mr. Gopinath Govindan, and his CFO, Mr. Ravi Nair. Welcome you all to today's discussion session. As usual, we have a presentation by the CEO, and after that, the floor will be open for Q&A. You're most welcome to write your questions in the chat room. We will start the session. I invite Mr. Venkat to come and start the presentation. Mr. Venkat.
Thank you. Good afternoon to you all. Thank you, MSM, for arranging this event. I think it's the need of the hour to know that always we are hearing about the corona numbers and what's happening, what's going on. It's important to know the corporates, where are they, what's happening, what is the future outlook. It's a wonderful event, I think, arranged by MSM. Thank you for that. So we will take you through the slides. So definitely, I think it's an opportunity for people to know about National Life and how we are handling it. What is our past? What's the future outlook and all those sort of things. Okay, I think, can we move ahead?
Okay. Yes, sure.
Just to say now, we would first like to say something about the economy outlook. Then we will get into industry and company specific and all those sort of things we can look at it. Now, on the economy outlook is concerned, like the first is the oil price, which we have been talking about it. The constraint in oil prices. At least now something is moving up now. Those are some the advantages there on the pricing. The corona is that we hear every day the numbers now. 50,000 numbers affected in Oman, 233 deaths, and semi-lockdown in Oman. And as you all know that we operate in many markets in UAE, Kuwait. And as far as UAE is concerned, there is a lot of 27% expected to have a shutdown. There will be collection problems, coronavirus, 53,000 affected, sporting events cancelled, tourism restricted, Expo is postponed. There are a lot of things we are hearing. But one good thing is now UAE is open now. It's open now. Things are moving the direction, but definitely not as we expected. But definitely there is a good movement on that. Kuwait is concerned. Kuwait is the first country which has, announced the lockdown. They have closed for about three and a half months now, and I think started opening the last week. We are seeing some movement on that. Again, now the number of cases affected about 52,000, deaths are 379. So looking at the economy, wherever the market we operate, Oman, UAE, and Kuwait, I think there are some good news, some bad. So those things are mixture. So semi-lockdowns happening that we are moving. So what is National Life has got in all those sort of things? We keep hearing a lot of industry like aviation got affected. The hospitality industry is affected heavily. So what is the industry specific when we move to insurance? Insurance is it's not everybody succeeded in insurance. Definitely, I would like to say that. Who has got really a clear model, who was very strong on the digital capability and the line of business. What is the line of business? The diversified portfolio, where they are very strong. So that is something which is successful. The model is there. Definitely, it is helping. There are some advantages to the digital side wherever the lockdown helped on the business. Now, Oman is concerned. There are a couple of market specific things. Yes, definitely. Yes, the motor sales has gone down. Not number of many vehicles are on the road during the lockdown. That was there. And medical surgeries are concerned. The most of the thing, the elective surgeries has been postponed. Insurers were asked to bear the COVID-19 treatment cost across Oman. So these are some of the things which has happened to the insurance industry here. In UAE, again, we have been asked, although the policy condition doesn't cover the pandemic and the regulators have asked to cover that one. So which we are covering in UAE as well as in Oman to some extent, that we are also updating in MSM what is the impact of that to that, and but there are some advantages to that. So moving next to the NLIC. So now we have seen about the economy and about the industry specific. Where does NLIC stands? Okay. NLIC, I would say, is a very successful company. It has seen from GONU, FET, there are many incidents which NLIC has gone through. One, what we could say is the company is the model where we are operating, we are very strong. We are a retail company. Our focus is more on retail, although we write all lines of business. Our major focus is on retail. So that is where the model is working very much for National Life. And now, as we are all know that National Life is number one in the by return premium and the market share. We last 2019, we have written about 149 million. So which we look at some 15 years back, the company started with a 4 million real premium. Now we reached about 149 million. Consistently, the company has grown. It's not just accidentally 1 year, 2 years, some growth happened and went down. So that is not the case with National Life. There is a consistent growth. So by premium 149 million, we reported in 2019. It's the numbers available in the public domain. Market share is again 25% share we have got on as the CMA data. So what made National Life a market leader? From a 4 million to 149 million, from one country to various countries, and strong market leaders, all what happened, for how it happened. Now, one thing which I can very clearly say that we have got a very clear strategy, very clear strategy, which there was no confusion over the years, whatever we have been doing it. So that is something that we want to be very strong on the retail segment, which has been we following it up for over a decade now. So that brought us to here. We had a focused approach and where we want to move and how we want to move. So that really helped us. And a strong human capital, like that is something which always I feel happy and proud of it, is like the staffing is very good. We have got a very good staffing. That is a consistency in the management, and we have got a complete the technology in place. Human capital is very strong. The third one I would say is a cost advantage. If you look at our cost and the other companies, the same industry, other people, the peers operate, is like the cost we operate around 8.6, 8.5%, where the industry average is about 12%. So with such a big book, 3 to 4%, we have got a cost advantage. The main reason is, we have got a lot of automation, the process we always revisit it. So those sort of things we help. That's one of the strong position for us. We are able to compete in the markets because of some advantages and all this. And as I said, the focus is on the retail products. We completely focused, major focus on the retail products. And first mover in medical insurance. This is something which I'd like to say. In 2003 or 4, something, that's a time that in Oman, we were talking about medical insurance, which was emerging at that time. The other people were looking at other insurance, probably, is it a globally medical is a loss making, is the right business model to go. Always nationally believed a blue ocean strategy, like, something which we should do something different, so we wanted to venture into the medical insurance. In fact, we have taken a lot of precautions. We know that there is a problem globally, but we took a lot of precautions. We had some hiccups in the beginning. We had the courage to move into the medical insurance. So today we are the market leader. We have a good book and we have got a good claim ratio, and then we could achieve the things what we could do. So now the market is looking at it, maybe possibly more people want to enter into this market. So, but as a first mover, definitely, we moved the market in a big way. And digital, again, last 5 years is not yesterday or today. We just go into the digital side. We have quite heavily investing. Our board is supporting a lot on the digital side. We invested heavily on the digital side now. That really helped us during the COVID situation. If someone is asking what is the best comparing to others, what you have done during the COVID situation, because of our digital, because by a click, people can renew, by a click, people can buy, by a click, people can log a claim. So all those things can happen. So, that is something which we are very proud of it. Our business continuity plan, we were talking about till last year, 19, on a theory. When we tested it out on 20, when the COVID came in, it perfectly worked. With a complete digital platform, we could able to do the business. That is something we are very proud of it. Our digital innovations work very much. And individual risk. So like we are also a company in the retail. we are very focused on more into medical, motor, personal lines, group life, credit life, those sort of things, where the risk selection is concerned, like, because that's where there is a mass, and definitely that's where the growth is happening in the market, so that we are in the right segment. And next advantage is we have got a one TPA model. For somebody to succeed in the medical insurance, it's very, very important to have a one TPA, because if we bank on a third party TPA, there is no ownership. If you give it to somebody to look at the claim, to control the claim, on the claim service, definitely is working for a fee. But as far as National Life is concerned, we have our own TPA. Our own TPA, which is really helping. We got number of doctors inside the office. So like we look at it, everything, then the doctors speak the same language in the hospital. So this is something processing. We are able to improve the service. Any changes required on the policy conditions, this all helps. So the own TPA is one of the very, very successful thing which we developed today, which is helping us. The next is the reinsurance strategy. There are a couple of times some of the analysts also spoken to me, is that what is happening in the reinsurance strategy? Is it something where medical, whether National Life lost its reinsurance support or what? Something of that sort. I think now on the open forum, I would like to say that, like we started off on the medical side, 20-30% retaining, 50% retaining, 70% retaining. We now moved to a stage where 100% retaining, because now we have got a very good control. We got a volume, we got the business, now. So that is helping us really to move on this, on the reinsurance side, which we are quite happy about it. On our reinsurance strategy, reinsurance also, that we do it with the strong companies. That is something which always we are particular about it. And our risk selections are perfect, and we have got the strategy right in place, so which is helping us to improve the business. Again, investment, we know the volatility in the region. To a lot extent, we have moved into the fixed income securities, not getting into market of the volatility and all those sort of things, which is we would like to see a good a consistent income coming on the investment side, which also we have done it. So if you look at these factors, now more than the COVID situation, now I would say any of the the situation comes like this, now our fundamentals are very, very, very strong. The strategy is strong, the capital, human capital, the cost advantage, with the line of business we are in, the risk selection we do, the digital side, which we are very strong, and we have most of the things in our hand, like either system development or a TPA or whatever it is. This is something we are not depending on a third party, and these are all put together. It made National Life a very, very, very fundamentally a strong company, which is where we have seen a movement. I don't remember exactly 2013, 2003 or 14. We used to be number 16 or 17 out of the total companies. And the last 2 to 3 years, we became number 1, and we moved the premium 4 million to 149 million. We are a market leader, and the profitability, the public numbers are available, which you'll see little later. So this all put National Life in a very, very strong position to move. Then coming to the digital side, which I would like to say a little bit of it. Because digital, we keep hearing. What exactly on the digital we do? So that is something which is quite interesting that I would like to say here. Like now on the mobile, app. So people now are more used to mobile app. That's something which we brought in. People can lodge a claim through mobile app. You can buy through a mobile app. All can happen. Now during the COVID situation, some of the companies, what we have done is, like, you can just send it, go to the National Life, this thing, just by one click you can renew your policy. So that's available, and pay. So you can just pay, because we send the link for payment. People can make a payment. We don't say you go to a bank, you just make a payment, come back to us, issue the policy. So those are all not there. So that we have made it very, very simple. Like we could able to manage most of our renewals and new business during the COVID, because of the situation. And I would like to really say that we have got wonderful staff. Although the branches were closed during this time, people are operating from the house, even night 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I could see some messages coming night 11, 12, approvals are coming. People were selling policies. Really, really, I would thank my staff. Wonderful. So which had a situation, we could sell policies. It's a service. At the same time, we don't miss the renewals and all those sort of things. And automated claims management, again on the claims side, we have got a lot of automation we have brought in on the motor side. It's through a robotic process, a lot of things were brought in. And on the medical side, we have introduced on the robotic side also, because of the volume is high. So we have got the robots processing the claims. That is, I think, the first insurance company, I think, to my knowledge, which we have done that. That is also helping us. And on the cards, we will replace the physical cards, because that every day there are so much of business being closed on the medical. We cannot be handing over the medical cards to the people. That we have brought in the digital e-cards. So we brought in. So that also on the digital side. So we have done so much. So without meeting the people, one can buy a policy, get a claim, the cards, get the claim service, so claim lodged, payment made. So without one meeting each other, complete process of buying till settling a claim can happen with National Life. This is something wonderful that we could do that. So that's some of the other strength which we would say on National Life is we are a subsidiary of Oman. You all know Oman is a very, very strong holding company in the market. So we are proud to say that we are part of Oman. We have got a number of branches every year. We increase the branches. Besides Oman, we have got in UAE, Dubai, and Abu Dhabi, and one in Kuwait that we moved to the region. So we have got 200 touch points. We have got the branches, brokers, agencies. There are so many things we have got, and we have got a diversified product on life and non-life side. And we are the pioneers in bank assurance. We are the one who started, like always. National Life will try to do first mover. Anything, even I think this presentation, we are the first insurance company we are coming out now. Either it's a bank assurance or it a digital side or anything, we don't want to miss the first. That's something we are proud of it, and we have done that. Bank assurance we started, and we are now currently working out with a couple of banks on the bank insurance side. We have got a strong bank assurance channel on that. Medical providers, like again that we have got today more than 180 plus providers across Oman. We have a number of garages are there. Even the garages are all connected online. Even people need not come to us. That that the photograph is uploaded. People can see from the garages. They can quote for the repairs. We did a lot of digitalization on that. So that's where we could improve the service to the motor business. And strong tie-up with the reinsurers, as I mentioned. We work with the history, mimicry, people like that. So that is something which we are very quite. And we have got a lot of trained staff. Omanization ratio 75%. And on the Omanization side, we have got a very, very, very strong senior management level staffs we have got. We have got many on the AGM levels, on the senior manager levels. We got a wonderful Omani staff that today we have got completely dedicated, and consistently working with us. That's something which we are proud of it, of our the staffing is concerned. So these are all the strength which we have put today with making National Life a big company. Then the business, coming to the business, we operate at an overall loss ratio of 75%, put together motor, medical, other lines of business. Company as a whole operating at 75%. That is something which we are consistently maintaining these things now. When the fall in markets, oil prices, it has some negatives, some positives, but definitely, yes, we could able to do something better. One, as earlier I said, our success is our unique business model. Definitely, we have not messed up with the model. We have very clearly picked up retail, went very aggressive on the retail. Other lines of business also we were doing it, but this is something which is really where the market is growing, where we have seen where the customer service is important. We give a lot of importance to customer service. We take it very, very seriously. Even a single complaint, we don't leave it. We take it even up to the CEO level. We look at it in case if it is not sorted out. So that is something we work on that. These are all helping us. Investment strategy, again, we've got a good investment committee. They keep advising us, and we are very strong on that. Investment is doing well for us. So this is something we are in a strong position to just reach these levels today. So then coming to against the COVID situation today, we are the company, we contributed about 175,000 Riyal to the endowment fund, where wholeheartedly our board came out and said we are contributed 175,000 to the support of the country's action. So that's, we are quite happy about it. We have done that. We strongly believe the corporate social responsibility. We want to be a very responsible corporate citizen, that we have done. And also again, when the regulators came out with the covering the insured members who have got a medical insurance, to take the cover, although the pandemic is not covered, we wholeheartedly went and agreed, and we are supporting it now today. The markets we operate, where in UAE also there was some requirement. We have also disclosed to the market around 0.4 million, something like on the net level. It had an impact at May end, so we will keep updating the numbers. We have some advantage definitely on the Oman and UAE is concerned. Like there was some number of claims and all those sort of things. Some advantages are there. So we have done that. On the fight against COVID, definitely we are there. So we have done that. So through the COVID, what we have done now, that's a question which everybody wants to know. What happened during the COVID situation? Like we very planned, we have, from the day one we formed a committee. How do we move? What do we do? So we should not, the employees also should not get affected, the service should not affected, business should not get affected. So we formed many committees within that. So how do we move? So every day there were discussions happening, and we, from employees are concerned, definitely that's our major strength. We are very pro employee company. We have very strongly implemented all the social distancing, work from home facility. Today, most of them have provided PCs and people working from home. No, so like the meetings are happening through Microsoft Teams and all those sort of things. Disinfections on a weekly basis, and entire premises being done. Disinfection things are done. Hygienic control that have introduced. So completely that people when enter the office also the thermo checking is happening. So completely we have taken care. If any contact, anything is there, anybody is affected, so we have gone out of the way to help them out. So this is something we showed. Yes, NLG's today is because of the employees, the very strong support which from the employees we have got. So that is something which we have taken care. As far as customers is concerned, definitely customers are first. So we have a 24/7 call center. I think that I don't know about others, that we operate 24/7. We have got staff. Anytime people call, whether it's a motor insurance problem or a medical insurance problem, or whether I'm just going for an emergency, you call night even 12 o'clock, somebody will pick up a call and say, yes, you go to this hospital. And there are clear instructions to the hospital, if there's an emergency, please go out and treat, because customer is important. Customer is first for us. So that is something which we very clearly communicated. On the online claim registration, so we brought in online claim registration. People need not come during the COVID situation. People sitting at home, you can register your claims, which we can take it. And servicing through WhatsApp, a lot of things we are doing. Buy the policies online. So the customer need not come to us either for a service or for buying a policy or for resolving any issue. Sitting at home, he can do it. Employee sitting at home, he can do it. So I think National Life handled the COVID situation perfectly, without the customer impact, without an employee impact, without much of a business impact. Of course, it had some plus and minus here and there, but we could sail through because of the strong foundation which National Life had on this. So now, good, I think we have explained about the whatever thing. Where are we moving? What about the future? That's something more. I think we are all interested in where National Life is moving. Yes, we have got a strong fundamental, strong model. We could work on any situation. So what is the future? I would say we are really exciting with many technology entering into the regional markets, entering into the new markets. Wherever we have gone, we are successful, and National Life is geared up to move into various markets. That is something which we have got a strong fundamental, strong foundation today. That's something which is always our aspirations, to move out, and as an Omani company, we would like to move out to bring a big glory to Oman. So that is something definitely we are looking forward for that, and we are ready to look at any opportunities, and definitely National Life is poised and to just for a bigger growth. So we are also continuously upgrading on the technology side. We are moving to a cloud, where in case of any of the disturbances there, and the customer journey. Something is like we have got a separate department for customer satisfaction, customer journey, and all customer complaints. because we believe that customer journey should be very, very simple. That's where always we believe in simplicity. If it's simple, the solution is simple, it works very well. If it is complicated, is not, we may have a good solution, but if it is not a simple solution, it doesn't work. Even for somebody buying a policy, going to the broker office, somebody always say here, first question you ask, how many screens you have to go through buy a policy. You have to fill only 5 fields, 10 fields, then it is simple, you can buy. If I tell the customer you have to give me 20 informations to buy a policy, probably the customer is not happy. So even if we get into that level of micro, because simplifying customer journey is very, very important as one of our success. So that we have done. So that's something we continuously keep looking for that. We keep upgrading the mobile because people like to, with a mobile would like to complete the business. The cloud, we are just moving to the clouds now. The mandatory health insurance, another one which is being discussed now by the regulators, which is expected to be implemented by phases. I think National Life is very strongly placed on the to take advantage of the mandatory health insurance if it is announced. We have got a strong team. We have got a TPA. We got a network, about 180 providers are there in our network. Completely we understand the business. We have got the call center. We got the processing teams. We have got an automation in place. So we are, that is one area where when the full mandatory health insurance is going to be implemented, I think National Life stands in a very strong advantageous position to take advantage of that. This is something which we are looking at it. Definitely, I think it's not just only we are getting recognition here, even the international bodies. So all our strength people have looked into. This is something which I would like to say, like, somebody who looks into our data for the last 10 years, always we have seen the top line going up, the bottom line going up. So that's something which always we have seen. We move into various markets. If you look at it, we are here and we go to some markets like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, but we don't let our ROE go down. Our ROE is always 18%. Consistently, we maintain ROE. We maintain the business. So that is something which we always ensure that. So we manage that. We also move. We manage both the things. So give it a 2-3 years time. The other markets also start contributing to us. So then overall, then we grow in a big way. So the recognition has come from the various the international bodies. Even Forbes recognized us in the Middle East in December 2019. Consistently, I would like to say on the best performing company in the large segment in 2018-19, I think there were about some 7 to 8 parameters when the IWA awards were given. That I think the IWA award was we was selected by, there are two. One, the data was checked and all those things were done by IWA awards. So like on the growth, on the expense, on the ROE, on I think 7 to 8 parameters they looked into. So we could win that large cap segment consistently for 2 years, 2018 and 19. We were the best performing company in the large segment in Oman. And AM Best is again, although so many issues are going around, but AM Best were very happy that they could retain our rating, B++, which we retained it, which we have gone. And we have also got the Best CEO award in 18 and 19 consistently. So the international body recognitions are coming a lot for us. So that our number speaks. Whenever our balance sheet is seen by the people, that people are quite happy. There's a consistent performer. It's not just 1 year or 2 years. It happens. The insurance industry somewhere there's no claim 1 year, so you perform. So that is not the case with the National Life. Consistently for the last 10 years, which we are able to provide a good service, and you could perform, maintain the ROEs, maintain the growth, and all those sort of things. This is where we could move. And what we are looking is, now we have been known very clearly that we are a market leader on health insurance. One thing what I would like to say, in the motor also, we are also close to becoming the market leader. I want the support of Oman, and definitely we are doing very well. We are close to that. We have got a very, very strong motor portfolio we have got, and a good portfolio we have got, and we are growing very fast on this. And we have also picked up a couple of things which market is feeling whether can we do this or not. So something which we are getting into. Shortly, I think we will all hear Oman motor insurance also. National Life is aspiring to become a leader, which we are coming up closely. So this is what something which I would like to say about National Life, a strong company, good company. So I can't comment more on the numbers more. Now anyway, we are close to the half year end. Probably I would request you people to look at the numbers. So once it comes to the market, probably then we can have a chat. That's it from my side. Any questions, please? I can take it.
Sure. Thank you very much, Mr. Venkat. Thank you for the presentation, for the detailed presentation. We appreciate it. The floor is now open to question and answers. Mr. Sundar asked to be unmuted. Mr. Sundar, just a second. It takes a second for you to be unmuted. Yes, you have been unmuted. You can ask your question.
Sure. Hi. Good afternoon, sir. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good, sir. I think just a couple of things from my end, sir. Any outlook on UAE operations? Because during the Q1, I saw the results. I think it has been a negative in terms of the numbers. I think because Q1 itself negative, I believe.
This chapter is very easy. Just calm down since you calm down after the lunch. Now, what I'm saying, this is what we are doing is.
Yes.
Somebody else is unmuted, I think. Yeah. Yeah. See, I want an outlook on the UAE operations for the rest of the year, because Q1 itself, the company has performed negatively, and we just want to understand what is the outlook for UAE and any specific reason for the Q1 losses. And the second thing is on the current CMA regulations. You already you have said some impact, which means the May impact is predominantly UAE. The June numbers will reflect the Oman operations, whatever the impact which is coming for COVID-related claims. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. See, like the Q1 is concerned, like what happened. See, one you should. What I would like to say is, Dubai is a very, very competitive market. It's not bad. No, we are operating. The things are fine with us. There are some corrections we took on the technically. Some of the loss-making schemes we have to drop at the beginning of January. So when an insurance something, when you drop a top line, when you look at some of the old claims, whichever is there, that is to be settled. So that comes option into that during that quarter. So that is something which we have sorted out. That's one of the reasons that I think now just wait for the numbers. Something that with the corrections have been done wherever is required. Some corrections required has been done in UAE. That is one of the main reason on that one. And the impact is concerned. Yes, like there were some announcements in the UAE in the beginning of the quarter. Like people were expected to go to the hospitals, stay in the hotels. The cost was a bit high. Then slowly they were implementing it. They reduced the cost. For example, like somebody is symptomatic. Earlier, they possibly per day it was 900 dirhams or 1000 dirhams. So later it has been reduced to 150 dirhams. So that was the impact which in the initial period we had first quarter. The second quarter which we are looking at, it is like with the numbers as far as COVID is concerned, like it's coming down. Like the symptomatic, then more they came out, then they said you treat at home. You don't need to go to hospital, which is something that they gave the authority to the insurer to decide. So those all be implemented. So definitely the COVID claims of first quarter and second quarter, you will see a big difference in UAE. This is number one. Second, coming to Oman, as far as the COVID is concerned, like on the second quarter, like here also it's fixed by the Ministry of Health. The rates for the total package has been fixed on this one. And if you closely monitor that, like the situation here is more of people affected was a blue collar. There's something in the beginning which had happened. We were not very strong on the most of them were not insured also on the blue collar side, which have not taken the medical insurance. So we didn't have a much impact on that. That will be disclosing our numbers. So we don't see a big impact on the Oman side. So there is some impact definitely there. So that will be, communicating to the MSM on the second after the results are June results are there. So it's a comfortable situation. It was the beginning was there something. So because of, I think now to say that wait for the second quarter numbers to come. So there is a movement, and definitely we are not worried about the second quarter as far as UAE is concerned.
Fine, sir. I think one additional thing in terms of can you give a breakup between your retail receivables and corporate receivables? Because I believe there has been some slowdown in the corporate receivables. Because you being a retail oriented, how do you see that receivable concerns in Q2, and is it any alarming, or how do you see for yourself and the sector?
Yeah. See, the retail receivables, the retail sales are, when you say individuals, I would say individuals and corporate. The individual sales are mostly on cash. Okay. So that is mostly of our major motor business and things like that. And we don't have a problem. Unless you don't pay, you don't get a policy. When come to corporates, the issue is like the corporates who have taken the policy are in a strong position. As of now, we not heard a major issue. Definitely, there are some deferments happening because the time agreed, which may not they paid, or they wanted some deferment of payment. Those things are there, and is happening. In UAE also, it's happening. A couple of people have come forward saying that I would like to defer the payment after, say, 3 months, 4 months. So those things are happening. Yeah, but I have not seen somebody closed it and gone. I cannot collect it. So those situations has not happened as of now for us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sundar. I'll mute you now. Abbas Musalmi from Vision. I'm unmuting you. It takes about a second, and you can ask your question. Abbas, you can ask your question now.
Thank you, Davinder. Thank you, Mr. Venkat, for the presentation. I had a few questions. I mean, it was a very comprehensive presentation. The first one is on the top line. And, we're talking about COVID impact, obviously, in terms of loss ratios. But I wanted to ask you in terms of companies who are generally affected in all spheres due to COVID and the general economic slowdown that comes with it. Are you seeing some top line pressure in terms of, guys, reducing the policy benefits, not opting for a similar policy that they were over the years? And do you see this happening down the line as well? I mean, for example, on the motor side, for example, if I had, comprehensive policy, I'd probably opt for a third party policy now to save, costs. Are you seeing a similar trend on the health side as well?
Yes. See, we see that definitely I'm expecting a top line could be a slight reduction, could be there because of, as you rightly picked up, people who are paying the policy, they are finding out whether I can cut down some of the benefits. Where I given a bigger network, can I go for a smaller next network level, or I can reduce the maternity benefit, or some of those sort of things. People are looking at it. We will definitely have some impact on the top line. But since we have got a bigger volume, I'm not expecting that we should affect us in a big way. But definitely there will be some impact, which we are expecting. And on the motor side, yes, there is a lot of movement from a comprehensive policy to third party. See, again, the motor insurance, I'm very proud to say that we are pulling the market. We have a lot of things are happening for us. Our service levels are too good and things are happening. And we have a big aspiration, like more medical, we want to become the market leader in motor. So that's something we are doing that. So that is something which is pulling the number of policies, like I insured earlier 50,000 just for example. Now I'm insuring around 70,000. Possibly the premium can go up from a comprehensive to a third party. Definitely there is a movement happened in the market from a comprehensive to third party. It happened, but by increasing the volume, increasing the number of insured, we are trying to come up with not to have a big drop on the top line.
Okay. And you mentioned about your insurance strategy, and that's something we've been noticing in the investment committee, that you're obviously retaining more and more risk. You're a full-fledged insurance player in this region. I mean, one of the few who's actually, especially in Oman, who's retaining this kind of numbers. The only other player, obviously, on the motor side is Ahliya, who retains, I think, close to 85-90%. Did you mention your aspiration is go to 100% across the board? I mean, or at least close to that, because your retention ratio is only moving up over the period of time. So what's your aspiration at the end of 2020, for example, on the retention side?
See, on the retention side, as far as motor is concerned, definitely we have an excess of loss policy. I'm sure that others also have an excess of loss policy. So any claim of 50,000 or 60,000, a bigger loss. So definitely we have got a cover. So leaving that is one, few claims. So leaving that, we retain, and our numbers are public. 2019 numbers are available in the market. We operate on a claim ratio of 55-60%, 55-50% only claim ratio we operate. So given that portfolio, the risk, we are aggressive, and the data which we have got, I think that supports us to retain on the motor side. We are retaining it. As far as the medical is concerned, we moved it over a period of time. It's not just first year we have taken the retention. We were 20, 30, 40, we are building up the book, understanding the risk, understanding the controls, implementing automation. There are many things we have done. That's something, it's really, we are very, very happy that we have done that, this thing. So that is what made us to retain, yes, we are retaining. Over a period, we have done that. We are not just suddenly we have done something. It's a science behind it. It's a data behind it. There's a lot of effort behind it. There's a lot of control behind it. So that's where we have come to this, and yes, we are retaining it.
Okay. And any guidance of, you spoke about the COVID related impact in Oman is going to be not that much. And I share your point of view as well, especially in the Omani market in terms of the COVID costs. And also you're obviously realizing the benefit of people deferring a lot of electable surgeries, deferring a lot of, not very emergency doctor meetings as well. So on a net level, if you look at the Omani insurance book towards probably by the end of the year, are you actually seeing a reduction in loss ratios compared to your historical loss ratios over the last couple of years? Are you looking at similar levels? So, what sort of loss ratio and combined ratio guidance or targets do you have in mind?
It's a smart question. I think you have to you have to wait for the numbers. We are seeing some. Definitely, we are seeing some benefit because, see, where one thing, if you look at the COVID affected here is one is blue collar to a large number has been affected. They are more of uninsured people. Out of the people we insured, yes, we have got some of the thing going on, and there is some definitely an advantage. People, the deferment of elective surgeries and people visiting the hospitals, those things are there. There is some benefit. There is some silver lining also we are seeing out of it. There's something which we are also saying those things are there. So let's wait and once things, because we are working on the second quarter numbers. So once the numbers are out, probably we'll have a clarity on that.
Yeah, my question again was not so much focused on the second quarter. I don't want to put obviously any guidance from that. I was looking at it more like 2020, 2021 going forward. Given that COVID is going to be with us for some time, it's not going to go away anytime soon. I hope it does, but looks like it's something we all have to live with. So I was just wondering, in that sort of environment, how does the company like you position yourself? What sort of how do you look at business basically? Yeah, that was my question. Yeah.
Strategically, what we see, like now, one as a strategy moving forward. See, like pandemic is not covered. Just for example, now moving forward, right, probably I would take a call that I should charge for pandemic. Right. If you are looking at 2021 moving forward, I should look at it charge for pandemic. Let me charge an additional premium for that. Yeah. So it's not that I will be paying the claim without a premium. So that is something which is one step we can take for it. This is one. Second is moving forward, we know that where who is getting affected, all those sort of things. So we can be a little more careful on underwriting side of that. So this is something where definitely we are already looking into that. So these sort of actions we have to take. Definitely, I also feel it's not going to go out immediately. But earlier, we were not prepared for such a pandemic. So now at least we know what has happened, how it got affected. So some precautionary steps will be taken definitely to move forward. And as of now, the benefits of which is not definitely April, May has some benefit on that because the initial the fear people had, were not visiting the hospitals or not driving the cars. So those benefits were there. But at the same time, the book is also going down. That is also there. So moving forward, leaving the quarter, I think the insurance companies will be careful in charging a proper premium, accepting a proper risk on that. And I think that should be able to manage that. It's,
okay. And Sundar's question regarding receivables risk is not something that of course it concerns you, but it's not something that's a big risk right now, especially on the brokerage business.
See, as of now, only I can say, I don't know about tomorrow. I say I've given some deferments to some people, which is one thing. Some, we say I couldn't pay now, instead of July 1st, I'll pay in the July end. So the July end, whatever somebody said paid to me, there is another payment to be received in August end or September end. So now I can't say that he will pay or he will not pay. So, but at least I have got something. If he's not paying, I could go back, tell him that I have to stop hold the treatment, and you need to make a payment and those sort of things. So it's not going to be easy, definitely. But I don't think we need to worry about much about it. That's what my feeling. As of now, say 3 months past, we have not heard anything. Okay, somebody closed down. okay, he's not going to pay. So that's not the situation. But there could be something, but definitely it should not be alarming. Given because the premium we receive in advance, the service is given later on the corporates are concerned. Definitely you have got a say to do that. It's not something you can't do anything about it. But it's a challenge. I would say it's a challenge, but we need to face it. We need to wait for it.
And my final question is, just one comment is, of course, in terms of expense ratio, you guys are the best in the market. So kudos for that. That's fantastic. That shows in your numbers as well. You said 8.5%. No one's close, I think. The other comment I had is when I look at your investment yield, because, obviously part of being an insurance business, investment income is equally important. And I noticed that your investment yield is, over the last couple of years has moved up from the 3.5%, 4%, 4.5% mark to 6.7, even 7% in the first quarter. Now, when I look at your investment book, it's 90% fixed income, 10% equity. The other guys who have similar investment books to you are Oman United Insurance. They have a 90-10 split. Ahlia has almost 100% in fixed income. But the kind of yields you're generating is far above these two guys. So is it because and especially with the fixed income portfolio of 90%, is it because you're taking longer tenor bonds, not as liquid compared to these guys who are probably holding on to short-term deposits? And is this yield sustainable going forward?
Yeah. Yes, definitely there has been a good move where we have looked into not just we are taking for a longer term and improving the yield. We have definitely, as an insurance company, we look at a matching of assets and liabilities. So that is very, very important to us. Like I got individual policies, so when is my money required, when to pay out, matching of assets liability is very important to us. That is something. Then it should also help us for our movements, all those sort of things. So our investments are put in such a way that we don't have a problem on matching, and it doesn't hit our growth. And also, operationally, our operation is very big. We write about 150 million, the number. The cash flow is also good. So that is something which we are looking at it. So consistently, yeah, the policy has been to move to fixed. We had some volatility. If you look at it 4 years, 5 years back, we had some volatility. So now something like, we are now moving big. That's one of the reasons we're consistently maintaining 18% ROE. We don't want that to go down. So all the strategies are focused towards that, and we are pushing it. And definitely it's very well planned, and we are not taking a bigger risk of a very long term, all those sort of a thing. Even if you are taking, but that is something which is definitely well calculated and articulated, and that's then only it has been done.
The reason I asked that question is because I'm seeing some sort of reinvestment risk, as and when these, I don't have the exact, obviously, nature of investments. Broadly, I see your notes and I look at the 90-10 split. So I was just wondering, is this sustainable, the 6.5%, 7%, or is going to go back to the 4.5%, 5%, perhaps what's most of your peers are doing, with this kind of split of fixed income exposure. So it's just a question I had in mind. Because, and especially now that you mentioned that there's a matching principle, which means that you are exposing yourself to some reinvestment risk, right, when it comes to this portfolio.
Yeah, we will try to maintain it sustainable. That's something that's always we are looking into it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for your patient answers. Thank you.
Thank you, Abbas. We have now Mr. Samir Katti Parambil. I'm going to unmute you. You can ask your question. Mr. Samir, you're unmuted.
Thanks, Mr. Venkat, for the presentation. I have two set of questions. First, both are on your competition side. With the large number of insurance companies in Oman, how do you see this competition side, eating into your margin? The second part of the question is consolidation. Are you seeing any consolidation in the market? Are you looking for anything in the future? The second question is on the online insurance aggregator. I think everywhere globally, we are seeing a lot more new insurance aggregator coming to the market. We haven't seen anything in Oman yet, I guess. So how do you see competition from that side? Thank you.
Sure. Regarding the competition is concerned, you have got the numbers, which is see, there's something definitely National Life when we are, for example, taking a medical portfolio or a motor portfolio or anything that is there. We have our strategies, how we are getting into the market. See, one I would like to say, other than the pricing or something, we give a lot of importance to service. That's something which openly I would like to say National Life today is because of service. There are any levels. I will tell you that if there's something query, something a problem that we all get involved. Right? We don't just leave it at okay, somebody looked into, so it's pending all those. So this is something which very strongly we communicated. I think that is one keeping ourselves little ahead of the competition. Okay, this is something which we are there. Second one is an innovation. Like National Life is known for its innovation. So like somebody we consistently come out with innovating on the product side or on the service side or even on the process side or simplifying it. This is something we give a lot of importance to that. So that keeps us ahead of the competition. This is something which we are always looking at it. And we customize the product. So even when we sell a medical product, we don't go to somebody and tell him like, this is my product, you buy. More than I would like to say that what do you want? Okay, this is where we could penetrate into the market. So the customization is something which National Life is known for it. So it's, I think it's very complicated in medical insurance. Sometimes when you go, somebody says the top level should go to this hospital. The second level want this limit. Third one, we don't want this. The fourth one, give the benefit only this. There are so many permutation combination will come. We say, fine, done, possible. Because the system is an in-house system driven. We are able to customize it. So these are the couple of things: our customization, innovation, product innovation, customer service. This keeps ourselves ahead of the competition. This is something I firmly believe, and I would like to invest more and more on that, because this is the only thing sustainable. Not just reducing the price or doing something. Definitely you can't win the competition. Okay, that could be a temporary thing. If sustainably you want to win, this is to be there. This is with all my board members believe that, and the management will believe that this is our culture. This is what we are looking at the competition. And the consolidation is concerned, this is something I think we keep hearing a lot in the market. There is something which is like, even the capital market authority is looking into that, those sort of things. So definitely there are some consolidation happening in the banking, happening in the financial service or the insurance industry, and all those sort of things happening. As of now, this of course is a board issue. This is something, but definitely we have any viable proposition, anything makes an advantage to us. Definitely National Life will look into those things. Yeah, we are open to anything. So moving this market, outside the market, growing. So that's always within us. So is it a viable proposition, something to National Life? Regarding the online aggregators are concerned, yes, it's a new concept in the market. Whereas other places it has been quite popular. It's working in other places. So here's something new. I think it works very well in a very matured market. Something I think this is happening here at the initial stages. So we have to, I think, wait and watch how is going to improve. So definitely, that is the best. The customer service or for the best one available to the public. So those things can happen, but at the very initial stages. So we have to wait and watch how this is taking off.
Yeah, if you can give an example, like the UAE market, we have seen an insurance aggregator coming to the market. Then how do you see in that market? Did it help you or?
See, like I looked at the data where UAE, the aggregation, there are 1 or 2 people are doing it, which not picked up in a big way. That is something which I have seen there in UAE. A couple of aggregators are working there, which are not taken off in a big way there. This is something which we are also seeing. But definitely we are open for it, and we should look at it, how the market is picking up on the aggregation side. See, there is, I have my doubts how much we are going to bring in the benefit to the customers. Something which is on the aggregation, whether when it will take off is whether the aggregator is going to sell at a price which is lower than what the insurance company, somebody is going to buy directly. If somebody comes to me, buys at say at 100 Riyal, if the aggregator price is going to be that, some of the proposals I have seen in UAE, not here, the aggregator, the margins are a bit added more there, where it makes a little bit of expensive, only give the convenience of buying. So that's one of the reasons that it was not picked up, because I worked with one of the aggregator in UAE market for some medical product, something there. So this is that's why there are a lot of things happening in this. So we have to watch the market, how this is moving this direction. Probably then we can see how it can take off.
Oh, thank you, Venkat. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
We have a question for Sanjaya. In fact, this was our first question. I wanted to give priority to people who wanted to ask questions in person. So Sanjaya Ja is asking how NLGIC calculate its market share. Should not the market share be calculated as total NLGIC premium in Oman divided by total insurance premium of Oman market?
See, I would leave this, the market share is not I calculate. The market share is calculated by CMA. I don't have any record to go and say this is my market share. So what CMA says the market share, I tell you.
Okay. Mr. Yaqub.
It's a number. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
It's a number from them.
Yeah.
It's not from me.
So Mr. Yaqub is asking, he has quite a few questions. His first question is, you had earlier mentioned in the MSM announcement that the net claims were 400K and now it is mentioned as RO 600K. What has caused this change?
That's a gross and net. See, like we have a reinsurance, like in Dubai, we have got a reinsurance. We retain a portion. You suppose if I pay a claim of 600,000, I recover a certain percentage from the reinsurer. We spoke to the reinsurer, Swiss Re is a reinsurer. They agreed to pay their portion of the claim. So the net hit to me is 400. That's what we mentioned, gross and net. That's a net of reinsurance.
Okay. Second question is, you just mentioned that you have identified certain advantages from the COVID situation. Could you please explain them a little bit in detail?
So the advantage is like, on the motor and medical side, yes, we all know that beginning of April and May, the number of people driving the car on the roads were low. So the accidents were not much on that. That's some advantage on that side. On the medical side, is definitely the regulators have opened the hospitals for emergency in Dubai as well as here. They said you treat the outpatient treatment need not go to the hospital. Only emergency cases you take. Elective surgeries you can postpone it. So those some of the things came from the regulator. So those advantages were there for 2 months. So something was in Dubai as well as here.
Okay. Would you like to disclose your preliminary financial reserves for the first half today on this platform?
I think we have to wait only one more week. I would request, please take a look at it. 15th the numbers should be out. So that's something which is, it is an actuary board, and there are many things to go through the process. All of us know that. Please, bear with me for a week. Yeah, that's what I can say.
Mr. Yaqub, same person is asking, how do you see the claims related to COVID trending now? And what is your outlook for 2H 2020 regarding the COVID-related claims?
See, the trending is concerned, UAE is coming down because the clarity, the symptomatic, mild, all those, the rates have been fixed now. Very clearly, they said don't need to go to hospital unless there's an emergency situation. So 70 to 80% of the claims reported in the month of April and May were the symptomatic and mild situation. So that should give a clear impact on that. So it's going down, which we are seeing the last 1 month. The claims is going down in UAE. Oman is concerned, yes, like we have seen that the people affected were more of a blue collar and where no insurance, where those things were there. We have some impact on that, definitely. But moving forward, we all wish so that it comes down. So it should not be in a big way. But the pricing is also will take care to some extent wherever the new policies are coming, that we are all looking at that. On a pricing side, we would like to take care of it also. So now the corporates are ready to make a payment because they know the situation now. So we are clearly communicating per person. Any pandemic comes. Today is COVID. Tomorrow could be something else. We don't know. Some flu, something, So some to cover some of the things. So like we should do a proper pricing on that. That we are talking to the people that should take care.
You have reported a small decline in gross premium and a significant decline at underwriting profit level. Can you please explain what happened in first quarter and how are those numbers trending in first half of 2020?
See, the first of 20 actually in what we have done is in UAE, as I said, because we have taken some corrective steps. In the beginning that we had to drop some of the accounts which we were there in the last year. So those corrections, like the premium entries will not be there. the earned premium will be low. The claims for the last return used to come in the first quarter. So that is the impact which you had on those things. The trending looks okay. We need to wait for the numbers. So those corrections are over. So the second quarter number, we have to wait and see that. Could be a drop line, the top line could be some drop maybe there. But things are trending is okay. No, not a major worry on that.
Okay.
Just matter of a week. Just wait for the numbers.
What is your outlook for the company's operating results for this year? Can you provide us your thoughts on gross premium growth, claim ratios, and the outlook for underwriting results?
See, we have, as far as the underwriting is concerned, like, see, there was a, now it's very difficult to put that in the situation now, because, see, like now, the 2 months we have seen some benefits and some losses, like which has happened. Moving forward, how the situation will move now, personally, my expectation is Dubai is to some extent has come out. Oman now, the more affected is of blue collar. If this situation continues, I don't see a problem. I don't see an issue like, the moving forward, the numbers which we have communicated, which we should be able to last year, we have closed about 10.3, that we should be able to move the direction. I don't see a problem. But this is something which is not in our control, like if it's a normal business situation, normal days, we can expect something. But being a strong company, being that what I would focus more than the situation, I would focus on the company. So because we handle the situation, the 3 months we handled it. Okay, the similar situation we should be able to handle because the model, the controls, the things, so where those all will help us. Definitely those things will help us. We are not right. A big ship tomorrow, something, a big claim can come, the sum insured is less. So those are all the advantages are there. And it is also reinsure some of the things there in Dubai. So we don't see a major issue moving forward. That is something. Probably you will have more clarity on maybe after 6-7 days when the number comes out. Where the second, then you are in a position to guess some trends how it can go.
Do you think your strategy of keeping the risk within the company has a negative impact on managing the claims? I'm seeing the numbers gradually increasing.
No, it's managing, like we are very clear what we are retaining. Okay, like we are not retaining Dubai medical business, which is reinsured. Oman business is retained because the controls are stronger. It is our own TPA, our own system, everything is here. Like a motor, yes, again, we definitely we have got a bigger control here. So it all depends on what we retain is depending on the controls over a period of time we develop. It's not just 1 year we picked up and we retain something. Yeah. So it's a very clearly seen on based on a strong data, these decisions have been taken.
The company has been maintaining its growth for the last several years. What is your target growth rate for the next 3 years, and how are you planning to achieve it?
See, our aspiration is to grow in a big way. So we have been growing like 150, 10%. Off late, we have been growing between 10 to 15%. So we have been consistently growing. That is where we really find out various markets just to maintain the growth. This is our aspiration, but definitely there are things beyond our control. Things happens on those things on those. So probably like, once this pandemic is over, when we are moving out, able to do some more transaction things and that, we would like to definitely, retain those levels. So our aspirations are definitely to, to grow. Our board is looking into the regional and as well as international, because we have got a National Life. Let me tell you, National Life has got a strong system, very strong system, strong culture. We understand the business, very good staffing. We are very happy about all these things. So these are all the requirements for a company to grow. Okay, then it's only a business, finding out the model business. We are in the right model. See, that's what we have seen the growth for 10 years. See, if a company in US like this, anybody, what I read somewhere, if someone has to pick up a company for a research, consistently somebody performing over a period of 10 years would be picked up. And I'm sure that if that is the case, National Life will be the first company to be picked up because there's a consistent track record in this.
The company is increasing its loans. I'm wondering, why would an insurance company need to take loans from bank? Are you seeing any issues with your cash flows or working capital requirement? Why don't you try to make up the cash flow differences from the investments or bank deposits?
See, the loans generally comes in the first quarter because the first quarter is generally a heavy payment out. That's only temporary. It's not the company is on loan. We don't have a problem for the loan. We don't have a working capital issue. We don't have all those things. If somebody closely exactly monitor that, definitely end of the year my balance sheet never had a loan. So that's something which I can say that. So the first quarter, all the payments comes in the first quarter. Let it be a tax, let it be a dividend, let it be a payment out, let it be to the regulator, all comes in the first quarter. So that, that's the first quarter to be managed. That's a temporarily we have got facilities. Although we have got facilities, we don't utilize those things now. So we use it and just we settle it. That's it. We are quite, I think I would say that we are a cash flow good company. I don't see a problem on the loans and all.
Last question from Mr. Yaqub, and we will consider the last question for the session. I just heard you mentioning about a potential increase in premium, but I'm seeing the CMA putting a cap on the health insurance side, and it is likely to remain closely regulated. What are your thoughts on the evolution of health insurance sector, and how do you think the company will benefit from it?
See, the evolution of the health insurance sector, that we are talking of a mandatory insurance. There are two things. One is mandatory insurance. That is something which the minimum thing everyone has to take. Okay, just for example, I can say somebody in SME operating with a 5 employee, you may not have an insurance now, who definitely would like to take an insurance. So there, the mandatory insurance is going to come, the premium capping is going to come. As of now, the premium is not capped by CMA. It's only there are discussions happening, like it should be competitive and all those sort of things. So it should be competitive, definitely. So that is where the premium, lower level premiums could be looked into. Some benefits could be compromised. But there are institutions like there are many corporates here are self-funded. I don't want to name it. Self-funded, self-insured, those things are all there. When they come to the insurance, because the insurance becomes compulsory to everybody. Okay, so when it becomes compulsory, everybody, they are not looking at the mandatory minimum insurance. Definitely, they are looking for a better increased cover. So they would like to travel, they would like to access all the hospitals, they would like to have more benefits covered. Those sort of things, definitely they would like to pay more. So that will push the insurance, medical insurance premium one side. Okay, so there will be two things will be operating. One is the major corporates coming into getting into an insurance regime. The second is the mandatory cover, where could be the premiums could be low. But putting together all that, we are very positive. I think the Oman should have a bigger number, because what we are looking at today in the population, maybe 500,000 is only the insured members. So the remaining, there is a big number to come into the insurance bracket. So that should really give a big boost to the medical insurance.
Okay. All right, so this was our last question. Thank you very much, Mr. Venkat and Mr. Gopinath and Mr. Ravi for today's session, for participating today, and all our participants who participated in today's discussion session. Thank you for your questions, and thank you for being here. We will see you again, inshallah, next week with our discussion session with Ahli Bank on 13th of July on Monday. So thank you for today, sir. Thank you to your entire panel and to the company for hosting us. And have a great day. And our session has come to an end. Thank you. Masalama. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you, MSM. Thank you for all the queries. Thank you.